In this one, we're going to have a look at for loops. So loops in any programming language enable you to execute a block of code multiple times. And keeping with Go's simplicity, believe it or not, the only looping keyword or loop keyword that you'll need in Go is for. So in this one, we're going to use the for loop to execute a block of code a fixed number of times, and we'll also use it to iterate over a collection like a slice. Okay, so first of all, let's look at how we can loop over a block of code a fixed number of times by using a counter. So here I'm going to say for, and then we'll declare a counter. So typically what you will use is you'll use the letter I, meaning index, short declaration syntax, and then we will start at 1, then semicolon, and then here we are saying that we want to keep looping whilst I is less than or equal to 5. And then another semicolon, and what we're going to say is that on the completion of each loop, what we want to do is just increment this counter by 1. And we can do that using this short syntax here, plus plus. Okay, and then all we're going to do here is just print out that value, i.e. the value of our counter, our index here. So using print line, let's just print out I, and then let's run this. Okay, so as you can see, each time it loops over this block of code, it prints out the value of I, and then increments the value so that the next time round, the value will have been increased by 1, and it'll keep doing this whilst the value of I is less than or equal to 5. And so that is why it stops at the number 5. Okay, so that's one way of doing it. Let me show you now a way in which we can loop over a slice, again, using the for keyword. So let's just remove this, and we'll have a slice of names. And I'm going to initialize this using a slice literal. So when we declare that we're going to have a slice of any type and then actually initialize it also, then we regard this piece, or we call this piece, a slice literal. We've declared a slice and initialized it all in one step. And so now we can actually loop over this. And so the way that we do this is we say for, and the first part will be the index. So we could say I, but we're not actually going to need or use the value. And when you're not going to need or use the value, then what you can do in Go so that your code still compiles is you can put underscore, and then the rest of the program won't be expecting you to use this. You can just discard it, because what we really want here is we don't want the index like 0, 1 or 2. What we want to do is we want to print out the name, and we want to forget all about their index. And so for that reason, we use the underscore, we forget all about the index, and then we can say name. So we could call this anything, but we just need a good descriptive variable, which is going to refer to the values here. And then we use like the short declaration syntax, and then the range keyword followed by the variable name which we gave to our slice literal, which is names. So now what's going to happen is we are going to loop over these names, and so what that means is we can print out each name one by one. So how do you print something out? Again, we're just going to print out each line, so each name will appear on its own line, and we're printing out name. So notice there that when I used the name variable, then the red squiggly line disappeared from here. So what we need to do is make sure that we use any variables which we declare. Alright, so I think we're good to go and run this. Go run main.go Alice Bob Charlie. Okay, let's have a challenge. So here what I'm asking you to do is write a program that prints the following 3 lines using a for loop. So it's going to print out these lines here. This will be the values, line 1, line 2, line 3, and then here, just a little clue, it says use print line and a loop counter. So a loop counter was the technique which we used on the first for loop. Sure, you can figure this out. Pause me now and give that a go. Okay, so we really need to loop from 1 to 3, don't we? So for I, short declaration syntax 1, and then we'll say that while I is less than or equal to 3, so this is a syntax for less than or equal to, but I'm sure you already knew that. And then what we're going to do on each iteration is we're just going to increase or increment the value, and that will keep incrementing up to 3. And so then we just want to print line. And so in order to get this, if you remember how print line works, you can take as many arguments as you pass, and each one will be separated with a space. So this makes it perfect for us, because all we need to do is then say line, next argument will be I, and so each one should print out exactly like this. Let's go and test that theory. So go run main.go, line 1, line 2, line 3. Okay, so that was for loops, and like I said at the beginning, one of the beauties of Go is its simplicity, and the only looping keyword that you're going to need is for. So we can use this for counters like we've done here, we can use it for slices, and we can use it for maps, which is going to be the next type that we look at. So hope you're enjoying this. Give the video a like, make sure you're subscribed, and if you want to see the textual version of these lessons, there's a link in the description which shows you where you can find those on GitHub. I'll see you in the next one.